Hi, I'm Ethan. I love muzzleloading, and today we're on the range shooting this R.W. Wright 54 caliber Flintlock Kentucky pistol. This is a relatively new addition to my personal collection. Wasn't really planning on buying a whole lot this year, just with the state of the world. But sometimes when something comes up and you have the opportunity to purchase it, you try to make that happen. This is a beautiful 54 caliber pistol. This was made by R.W. Wright. Like I said, it's a contemporary pistol. As far as I know, on R.W. Wright, he only built a few muzzleloaders before he passed away at a young age after a heart attack. So this is kind of a rare piece, not necessarily because it's a beautifully exquisite piece. I'm really over the moon with it. I think it's a really beautiful example of a flintlock pistol. And we're going to feature this more in other videos and talk about it a little bit more, but this is what we're going to be shooting today. And you can see here, we've got a little woods walk target. This is going to be, I think, probably the first video where I showcase some of the work I've been doing here on my home range. So got a little bit of a woods walk built in here now, and we're going to try it out. Admittedly, pretty close range here. It's pretty short, but still, that's a lot of fun. We'll step back here a little farther for our next shot. I got to remember that 15 grains fills up quick. I'm a little ashamed to say here, folks, this is the first time I've had an opportunity to get out and shoot. I think since the Cabin Fever Challenge. So it's been a little while, a little rusty here, but we'll get through it. Okay, we got a little high into the right there. That means I'm pulling a little bit as I'm pulling that trigger. So I'm gonna keep that in mind on our next few targets here. It's something to consider, but I mean, I'm just pleased as peaches with this thing. With every new muzzleloader, everybody knows you have to set up and have a little kit set up for it. So I'm gonna be using my Tim Crosby horn that I picked up at the CLA show. And I'm using a small shot pouch, really just a pistol-sized shot pouch that I made myself. In here, I've got some 530 round balls and some 15,000ths lubed patching with Frontier's Bear Grease patch lube and de-ruster. I'm gonna be shooting about 15 grains of Schutzen 3F in this today. That's what the previous owner told me it liked. So that's what we're gonna be doing. It's really not, gotta remember, gotta tie this down. It's really not a lot of powder, but you don't need a whole lot in a pistol like this one. Here we've got a standard pig silhouette. This is more set up for a rifle. But I've stepped back here a little wise, probably like 25 yards. Really pretty easy shot, but you know, just out here having some fun on a nice summer day. You really can't beat a day like today. It's a little warm, but as you can see, I'm testing out some of my 18th century equipment here. And it's really just been a beautiful day. It's been a great day, and I appreciate you coming along and joining me on it. That 54 caliber ball does not move that pig very much. Coming up the trail here, we've got a tiny buffalo and then a full-size turkey silhouette. I don't know who's hunting a turkey with their pistol, but if you are, let me know, because I would love to talk to you about it. Our first miss, we'll try that again. There, we got it. I've been reading about flintlock pistols as I've tried to get familiar with this one. And it's been interesting because they aren't super common. And now we think of a pistol as being very common, about having maybe even a pistol first and then a rifle next as you kind of get used to firearms, or as you look at your needs with firearms. But when you talk about the 18th century here, it's really different because the components, or at least according to what I've been reading, the components for a pistol, mainly your lock, your trigger, and at least a section of your barrel, are really the same as the components that we see being used for a rifle at the time. So why is the smaller version not necessarily more prevalent, maybe being assumed to be cheaper? From what I've been reading, because of the expense of the lock and the needed expense for the barrel, at least on a rifled barrel, the expense between a pistol and a rifle for the time were basically the same. And so you don't see people opting for what is arguably a lesser arm for defense or for hunting. While we have, you know, today pistols are very prevalent, like I said, at the time we have to think of a rifle being needed for longer distance shots, defense of your homestead and things. Pistols just weren't really common until a bit later. I mean, we still see them in use in the military, obviously, and with British officers and then later American officers, those still being smoothbores. I think it's important to note. But it's interesting to see when and if and how, really, the Kentucky pistol evolved and how it got to today. So I've had a couple clatches there. I don't know if it's an issue with the powder in this priming horn, so I'm just dumping it and getting some more out of my horn here just to see if I can figure out what's causing this. I'm not getting any spark, so it could just be the lock that I'm dealing with here. There we go. And it looks like just about 4 o'clock off of the center line there. Not too bad for this distance, and the first time out with this pistol. I'm pretty pleased. Our last shot here, we have a pesky little rabbit silhouette right there we're gonna try to go for. I'll be making a couple changes to this setup that I have for this pistol. First off, my priming horn is getting in the way in my bag. It makes it a little tricky to find everything, really just the patches and the balls in there. It's just a little bit more crowded than I would like. All in all, a very fun and I think very productive first outing with this RW Wright contemporary made flintlock pistol. I'll show you some close-ups of this pistol here in the video so you can get an idea of what it looks like and what it's furnished in. It's just got a nice simple brown finish on all the hardware and a beautiful curly maple stock. Just kind of a simple, you know, do-it-all round ball 54 caliber pistol. It has a slight swamped contour to the barrel. It's signed by the maker on the top and features some engraving on the tang, the top barrel flat, as well as this rear extension here on the grip. Shoots really well, I think. I'd have to put it on paper and really get, you know, zeroed in on it. But for something like a woods walk here, with the 15 grains of shoots in 3F powder and the 5.30 round ball that we're shooting, it does plenty good enough. I will say, as we got to the last few shots, really the last 3 shots, loading became much more difficult than it did in the first half of the woods walk. So I think I'm probably running into some fouling in the barrel. I'm gonna get this cleaned up here after the video and get an idea of what that fouling looks like in there. I think I got 7 shots out of this before the loading became a little more difficult. Now, that could be the fact that my round balls could have a little variance to them, or quite possibly because I don't have a ball starter yet for this kit and I was starting it with the side of my pocket knife. So your mileage may vary, but really my first outing with this, super pleased and super happy to have a flintlock pistol like this one added to the collection. You're gonna see a lot more of this in our camping and our trekking videos as we get out here this late summer and fall. I'm Ethan, I love muzzleloading. If you have any questions about this or anything else related to muzzleloading, please leave them in the comments below. It helps because I can answer them publicly and other people with the same question can ask, or you can shoot me an email at ilovemuzzleloading@gmail.com. I will say I've been getting a lot more emails here lately than I have previously anticipated, so it's taking me a little bit longer to get back to those emails, but I'm doing my best to keep up. So as always, I really appreciate all the questions and comments. I'm always trying to learn and try to spread, like I joke about, the good word of muzzleloading. So we'll catch you next time.